And
What do a tiger, a lifeboat, and a teenage boy stranded at sea have in common? A mind-blowing night at Segerstrom.
Segerstrom.
Oh, okay.
Wrong time.
What do a tiger, a lifeboat, and a teenage boy stranded at sea have in common? A mind-blowing night at Segerstrom.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. You're up one level. Okay.
Wait, up one level?
You can orchestra. I saw the word orchestra, then see the word terrace. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, and do the wave. Hold that still. Move zoom out and wave with your hand. Alright, let me take a photo. Don't wait. 1, 2, 3. Your head a little bit to your right. Yeah. Good.
And now brother's gonna take you behind the scenes.
Okay.
I think I just can't hold enough.
You guys know where you're going?
Yep. Oh, before you go in, let me get a photo with a Life for Pi sign over here. Hold the book angle towards here more. Yeah, okay. Let's zoom in. Oh, pardon me. Sorry. go.
We just finished watching the Life of Pi play at Segerstrom. It was a thought-provoking story with amazing visual effects and puppetry.
Okay. Okay, here you go.
Now we're going behind the scenes.
Now we're going behind things and life.
Now we're going behind the scenes out. Now we're going behind the scenes on Life of Pi.
Alright, how about let's do one where you just do the command motion and then walk that way. Okay. Oh, is it breakfast outside? Yeah. To the right? In here? That's okay. Good morning. Alright, and point to it.
Do we grab it back?
I guess. Do we grab one? What is that?
Yeah, the second grabs.
I think we can only take one.
Yeah, one.
Alright. Alright, done, Sheree? Still a wave? Oh, sure. I forgot to bring the program from last night. Alright. Alright. Do the wave. Alright. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One zoom. And wave. And go.
Catch Life of Pi at Segerstrom.
Yeah.
Catch Life of Pi at Segerstrom from now until June 15th.
Okay, great. I love the thumbs up. We are so delighted to have you here. My name is Carla Cruz. I am the Senior Director of Communications for Segerstrom Center for the Arts. And on behalf of the center and the press team, thank you to each and every one of you. You are the ones that share our story and bring the arts to the heart of Orange County. So thank you so much.
How's it going? Sorry it takes a while to walk across the stage. I just have to acknowledge your outfits over here. These are fabulous. Congratulations. Thank you for sitting front row. I feel like I've embarrassed you. I'm sorry. So good morning. On behalf of the entire Segerstrom Center for the Arts team, we're excited to be here today and extend a heartfelt welcome to all of our special guests from the tour of Life of Pi. We're excited to introduce you all to the story of Life of Pi this morning. Just to give you a little summary, Life of Pi is John Hoche, who's the U.S. Associate Puppetry and Movement Director and Resident Director. And then Taha Manviwala, who stars in the production as the title character of Pi. Welcome, fellas. Thanks for being here.
Oh, we also have one more guest.
We have one more guest. Is that guest coming out now?
We have Betsy Rosen, who is also.
Oh, Betsy Rosen. Sorry, Betsy. This is why you're the director. You keep things on track. Thank you for that, John. So let's go ahead and start with you. We just saw a little teaser. If you can just tell us what Life of Pi is about and what audiences can expect.
Yeah, Life of Pi, the theatrical production, we like to consider it kind of a theatrical experience. It has all the grandeur and big scope of a big budget musical, but it has the gravitas and the drama of a kitchen sink drama. So you really get the full gamut of everything that you can get in theater. It's the story of Pai Patel, who is a young man who is, the story starts in Pondicherry, India, and his family runs a zoo, and there's some political unrest, and Taha will speak more about this in a second. But he takes a long sea journey to a better life in Canada and experiences tragedy and finds himself on a lifeboat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with a hyena, an orangutan, a zebra, and most importantly, a Royal Bengal tiger. And it's not a story that you would think would work on and be effective on stage, but we've tried really hard to bring this spectacle to life, and audiences are loving it across the country.
Oh, I really appreciate that. But
Absolutely. The show started in England, in Sheffield, England. It was the first production that garnered rave reviews, and it was able to transfer to the West End, where it was a really, again, more rave reviews, and it was nominated for many awards.
capacity, how do you work with John, and what's your kind of process, and how do you work with the people on stage?
Yeah, so throughout the run of the show, there are times where we are rehearsing swings, we are rehearsing understudies, we're rehearsing new cast members into the tour because it's a very long run. And so John and I will, along with our stage management team, will organize and run those rehearsals. And then also for a very long run, things stretch and shift and change over the weeks and the months in terms of performance. So it's our job to help maintain the show and maintain the integrity of the artistic vision that was initially set out for it, help keep all of the puppetry focused on the storytelling, and to continue to bring a strong product to every city that we go to. So that's this current cast that stays with us for a while.
Very good, thank you for that. So Pie, I got to see it. I sadly didn't get to see it in New York. I saw it for the first time last night, and I was just completely blown away about it and couldn't stop talking to my wife about it when I got home. But your performance is astounding. I mean, physically, it must be exhausting. Emotionally, it must be exhausting. Can you tell us a little bit about Pie, who he is, and what his journey is?
Yeah, thank you, first of all. And yeah, I mean, Pie is, he's such a special character. My friend Scarlett, who was the Global Associate Movement, Puppetry Movement Director, so she has been with it forever, essentially. She and I were having a conversation about Pie, and she said this thing that has really stuck in my brain, that Pie is a character written of and from the divine. And there is a very rich spiritual life and this undercurrent of curiosity about this character that drives him in so many different ways that you don't really get to see or experience as a character on stage, or at least in my experience so far in the years that I've been doing this. Yeah, Pie is kind of at this really interesting point as a 17-year-old where he is releasing and still like in this phase of childlike innocence, but also moving into the realities of what being an adult sort of means. And as you go through his character arc, which is incredible in this story, you learn and see and witness that sort of almost loss of innocence as you go, but also this retention of faith and this doubling down on what it means to believe in something and have resilience and call upon the people in your life to imbue you with strength and wisdom and hope. And yeah, he's such a multifaceted character, and I've found a lot of personal reflection in my own life. It's hard not to for a role like this that demands so much of your physical presence, your emotional presence, and even a spiritual sort of analysis about like, it is my job to wholly believe to the point where you as the audience can also like latch on to that same sense of belief. And so it's really a gift and a labor of love getting to do this.
No, I can believe it. I mean, the loss of innocence
of high stakes, and we really try not to Disneyfy the animals. Like, we want to give them the physics that these animals have. Especially Richard Parker, we want to try to imbue it with that sense of ferocity, that sense of weight, that sense of just really like the relationship that this thing has the capacity to kill at any moment. So when you have that as the stakes that you're playing against at all times, yeah, it's exhilarating.
I like that you really said that about trying not to Disney-fy, with maybe one key exception, where but you do, they feel like real animals, the sounds,
So in any performance, there will be 3 puppeteers that are manipulating Richard Parker. So there's a head puppeteer, a heart puppeteer, and a hind puppeteer. So head puppeteer here, heart puppeteer is inside, and then there's a hind puppeteer who's back behind here. You can't see us so much in the image, but the head puppeteer manipulates the head primarily, but also is connected to the cage of the puppet by a handle on the back of the spine. And so their primary objective is to keep the head active and to create breath through the head. There's ear triggers and a jaw trigger there. And this handle here keeps the connection between the head puppeteer and the heart puppeteer. And the heart puppeteer's main objective is to manipulate the front paws and to create space and breath from within the tiger and give the puppet gravity. And then the hind puppeteer back here manipulates the back paws and the tail. So their main job is to maintain the gait and the walk of the tiger and to give emotional capacity through the tail. Now all 3 puppeteers live sounds.
If we have another guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Parker.
Okay. You all left the food out.
no food, no food.
No.
It's not for you. So as you can see, the 3 puppeteers obviously work in tandem, and they're using their breath filters into the puppet, and then
He's very photogenic. Careful with the flash.
so a lot of the communication that you see happening here is happening through the puppet. And there's always energy that is being sent from head to heart to hind, back from heart to head. So there's constant communication between all 3 puppeteers.
Non-fancy.
Yep, okay.
All right.
Hey!
do I need to move too?
You might want to take a step, or just don't make any sudden movements. I never get a picture with these. Hey, just a second. What? Hey, no. Hey! No. Easy.
Richard Parker.
I'm Nick Barnes, welcome to the workshop. We're working on a set of puppets for Life of Pi. So So each part of the animal starts out as a big lump of plastizote and is sculpted by hand.
I mean, you basically take a lump of plastizote and you turn it into something else, and with it you put love and you make a puppet which hopefully can carry a story which has great meaning.
So this is one of the sea turtles. Ollie's just adding some finishing paint touches to that. Through here we have one of the zebra bodies. So Aggo is sculpting the front part of the zebra. It's supported by a spine which goes all the way through it. There's a backpack just here which rests on the performer. All around the workshop we've got bits of animal limbs hanging around whilst they're in various states of sculpting and painting. So Suzanne is working on the tiger head mech. So up here we've got Georgie who's painting the orangutans. And we couldn't go without showing you what Caroline's working on. She's sculpting the tiger's head. Of course, the star of the show. Hopefully that gives you a bit of a flavour for what we're doing, and we hope to see you all at Life of Pi.
Awesome. We welcome them to the stage. We have Aaron Haskell, Anna Vomachka, and Anna Lee Gortnall. Thanks for being here, guys. We just met backstage, and I was worried about how much physical therapy they might need to deal with all they deal with on a daily basis. But I'd love to hear a little bit more about how each of you function with Richard Parker and how you stay in sync. So Aaron runs the head, Anna Vomachka runs the heart, and Anna Lee Gortner, right? Great. Functions as the hind. So there's so much coordination between you all that must be unspoken, I'm sure. So I'm wondering if you could walk us through how the breath of the tiger really works when you join together as a unit. So maybe we'll just start in order, starting with the head. So maybe Aaron, you could talk about that for us a little bit.
Yes, of course. Aaron Haskell here. Apparently I need my name said several times. So if we're talking about breadth, we definitely, the puppeteers, there's 8 of us in total, and so we rotate through puppets and puppeteers throughout the tiger throughout the week. So a lot of times we will try to get together and have little conversations before each show, which will tell us how we're feeling throughout the show and what we're trying to accomplish. And then some of that is through breath work, either breathing together, and then during the show, you'll notice a lot of our breathing patterns, excuse me, this early morning, tigers are very big, they have big lungs, and so we really try to get our breath to go with each other, which can also then help for us to cue each other on stage. So if we're about to do a moment in the choreography where we're dipping down, something we were working on last night, one of the things I need to do is, as we're about to do it, I take a big, and then we will go down, and then it'll translate that information to the other puppeteers.
Do that 8 times a week. That's what we all want to know.
Yeah. Well, like Aaron was mentioning, because we work on a rotation, I don't have to do that 8 times a week, thankfully, which means I'm revved up for the times I do get to do it, which is about 3 times a week. And all of us come from very physical backgrounds, a range of different physical backgrounds. I come from a dance and yoga background, and I have found that having my own personal movement practices outside of the show have been essential. At first I was too tired to do that in the early stages of this process, and then as the work has kind of settled in my body more, I've really been carving out more time for my own personal practice to also find movement that is different than what I do in the show. Obviously everything is very linear and very kind of like in a forward plane, so finding movement that kind of shakes that up has been really helpful for my body.
Yeah, yoga, can you describe your role in making him come to life?
Yeah, so my main job as the hind puppeteer is listening, taking it back to the breath work, listening to the breath work and also the footfall patterns, and also listening through my body and how it's connected to the puppet, so that I can keep the rhythm in the back legs and also cue the emotional indicator, which is the tail.
Got it.
If he's alarmed, it'll also lift. If he's hungry or wanting food, it might wag a little bit. If he's content, so finding all of those things back there. Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's all of.
Until I started working on this job, where I feel like through the rehearsal process and the audition process as well, I was getting more sort of like training in what puppetry is, but it's been a very like learning as I go.
Something that I loved in that workshop of the audition that they had taught a lot of the puppeteers was towards the physicality and the focus, right? So much of the eye line of the animal, of the puppeteers, are going into the puppet. So you, as the audience, are sort of drawn to where they're looking and their energy is going. And then physically with their bodies, this is something I've really come to appreciate about your all's work is sort of a stillness and a almost economy of movement, to where like they're not like shuffling their feet, they're not moving their human bodies around too much, but they're trying to like really relax themselves in a way to where all of that energy and focus and their manipulation is just in the puppet. So it gives them that sense of, to Betsy's point, that mentality, right? Like you're in service of the animal, and that is fully represented with your body and with your focus. So it
and
just,
our imagination.
And your imagination.
Like we're imagining their story, so hopefully you see their story, you see their thoughts and feelings, because we're having them and filtering them through the puppet.
Hi, can you hear me? So in the book, the tiger talks. In the movie, the tiger doesn't talk. And in the play, the tiger does talk. Why do you think the tiger talks in the play and the book, but not the movie?
Well, that's interesting. That's a great question. And I think that, in a book, the sky's the limit, and it's really like the story is happening inside your mind. And I think that you can interpret that the way you want. And I think for the play, having the tiger talk is a very theatrical thing, and it worked really well with the story that we were telling that was adapted from the book. And I think, my guess, I wasn't a part of the film, but I think perhaps the tone of what they were going for and the focus on realism in the film, I think that perhaps having the scene with the talking tiger might not have gelled well with that, so they possibly took it out for that reason. That's only my guess.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Nolan.
Nolan?
And we have a question for you.
Okay.
I think I do. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Was there one movement or emotion that was really hard to figure out with the puppets?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think there are many, so I'm trying to think of one specifically.
What's the hardest one?
Hardest one. It changes for me. Sometimes there are ones that are harder than the others. I would say one of the hardest ones for me is Orange Juice the orangutan. She's a mama orangutan, and she's lost her baby at one point in the show, and she is lost at sea, and she's calling for her baby. She's trying. The orangutans do something called a long call, and she's long calling to try and find her baby, and to be able to convey that feeling of sadness and loss and also hopefulness of finding her baby all within a moment through a sound and a gesture, I think is really challenging, and also one of my favorite moments in the show because I think it's very beautiful too.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am. Yeah. Okay.
I got you here. So are there two, or is it just?
No,
that's just the clip. I got you.
Yeah.
Taha. Nice to meet you. Yes. I like the shirt.
Yeah, it's just green. Is it hard acting with puppets? Do you ever forget that they're not real?
Yeah, so is it hard acting with puppets? Do I forget sometimes that they're not real? Yes. Yes, in that sometimes it's hard to forget that they're real, and I think, there are two sort of brains that activate when you're acting with a puppet. Like, you have to take care of the people that you're working with because you're doing something kind of dangerous. On the other hand, you kind of lose yourself in the magic of it. So when that tiger
is growling at you, getting ready to pounce, there's a part of you that kind of really starts to feel that in your own body, and you want to respond and be really springy with it. So there is this sort of sense of magic to it, right? You know, you have this inanimate object that is being moved in such a way that leaves you kind of breathless.
Thank you. Yeah.
Come on in. How's it going? What's your name?
Kobe.
Kobe. Nice to meet you. Come on, guys.
There you go.
Thank you.
Are you taking a picture of that?
Do I grab one?
Sure.
It's a pine nut and pesto pizza. It has burrata, arugula, pistachio.
Yeah, I got all of them.
Okay, I'll take one.
Hi there.
Thank you.
How you doing? Good. I'm doing great.
They just bring it up, then we'll serve them.
So if I will come during the happy hour, I will not be able to have it?
You just have to
Tomorrow and all, right? No, tomorrow is Friday, right? So tomorrow is no happy
Tomorrow
hour.
is Thursday.
Okay. What do I say? No problem. What do I say?
Now we're going to sample
Okay.
some food from local restaurants.
Now we're gonna sample some food from local restaurants.
Oh.
Try the curry.
Okay.
Oh, it's nice and hot.
Thank you.
Actually,
You can tag Inspired Art Wine too.
Sure.
Yep, the flyer's right there.
The flyers here?
The flyer includes a painting you guys can learn how to do on Tuesday, June 17th. The painting I'm doing is actually the painting I'm teaching.
And how long does it take to finish painting?
2.5 hours. 2.5 hours in between enjoying your drinks. This is the speed.
And then in terms of drinks,
We have mocktails too.
Okay.
So Coke, sodas, but it's a wine bar, but you can drink non-alcoholic drinks, Orange Julius, that type of thing. Go on the website, it has everything on there too.
Cool. Thank
And
you.
we're like a mile away
Okay.
off of Harbor and Adams. You can see I'm multitasking.
Thank you.
ready?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Oh wow. That's unique.
Let's see what they say.
Strawberry white chocolate.
Squeeze it? I mean, like go down and squeeze it. Ah.